Hi everyone, it's the Assyrian priestess with you. I hope this finds you well. Today we are going to do a message from Mars reading. There is a lot of Mars energy in the sky at the time of me reading this. Mars is of course the Assyrian god Nergal. So today's reading is, how can we best harness this energy and what's in store for us? First cut out Phoenix. It's pretty amazing. So the Phoenix energy is that creature that is burnt to cinders and rises from the ashes. So you are experiencing a rebirth, basically. You are experiencing a renewal, a reimagining, a refashioning of your path somehow. Maybe you're changing the way you look. Maybe you're changing the way you look at the world. So it could be physical and literal. It could be your point of view is changing. It could be that you're actually experiencing a recovery era from a loss that you've experienced prior to this reading. So if you in previous months or weeks or years even experienced a great loss or ending, you are now utilizing this Mars Nergal energy to your benefit, and you're coming back more fierce, more powerful, more fiery than before. It's actually going to be really good for you. Anything that you felt like you were burnt by, if someone burnt you or you had to ritualistically burn your bridges, let's say, you had to cut people out, you had to leave a situation, you had to make a drastic ending. Phoenix rising from the ashes is not as simple as it sounds. This is the archetypal energy of someone who has been to the underworld and experienced a metaphorical death of within their own psyche. And then now you're rising. So the Mars energy would have been really good for you. Now, quite recently, in April, we had a lot of cataclysmic energy. Which was only 2 months ago, that we had a lot of cataclysmic energy, such as 7 Aries placements, which, Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. And a lot of those placements are long term. So you could have experienced, if you try and recall, what did you experience in April, especially mid to late April, that felt cataclysmic, that felt like things were burnt to the ground, something crashed. Here we see an aeroplane crashing. We see this Gatsby figure, and this looks like an old, Alphonse Mucha artwork. And yeah, he's offering a rose. So maybe you met someone who wasn't what they appeared to be in April, and there was a crash and burn. Or in April, you actually cut off this figure, this charming, maybe deceitful figure. I wonder if as well the Uranus in Gemini energy, even though this is a Mars reading, I feel like Uranus in Gemini had cataclysmic, it had Phoenix-like cataclysmic energy happening, if you were tuned into it. Now, if you haven't left your bedroom in 7 years, then you may not have been experiencing this, quite frankly. But if you've been in the world and meeting people and trying new things, you would definitely have felt this energy. So here we have the 7 of Cups and the Empress. So the Mars energy, really, how it is affecting you or aiding you is you have started thinking about what it is you really want, and also being decisive about what is being offered to you that's actually kind of harmful or potentially harmful or just simply unaligned, misaligned. And so you're in a position where you have found and you have chosen what you want for yourself. And we see another kind of figure rising here. This is the after tarot. So this is like a moment after the traditional Rider-Waite. It's quite clever and cool. Here we have a sort of figure rising from one of the cups and surrounded by red energy, which uncannily looks exactly like the Kim Krans's Phoenix card. So there's a rebirth, a reawakening, and you've actually said no to a lot of paths that were open up to you. You've said no to riches that bound you. You've said no to a lot of things which has led you to the thing that you do want. You've chosen yourself, and the Empress energy is you going, actually, yeah, I chose right. So you're on the right track, definitely. And the Empress is the guardian of the realm. So here we have a beautiful swan with her. Are they goslings? I don't know what baby swans are called. Ducklings. And how amazing is this? We have the Emperor card and the Judgment. Amazing. With a 10 of Wands in the shadow. You may have recently met your counterpart or will be quite soon. Or maybe the Mars energy and this Phoenix rising, this rebirth transformative energy is about you coming into your full power. So let's not forget that a Jungian analysis would say the Empress and the Emperor are two faces of the same coin within an individual's psyche. So that is a more higher octave, spiritual, metaphorical reading. For those of you who are not seeking partnership, for those of you who are, you have either recently come into a very magnanimous, powerful, stable, serious relationship that has basically brought you back to life. Judgment and the Phoenix is also the same octave. It's the same frequency, right? Because here we have the angel. Is it Gabriel who blows the trumpet on the last day and people are called to life? And so the Phoenix is also called to rise. So you have heard a call or you've made a call by making this decision, which would have meant that many other paths you had to say no to. And you chose what truly fulfills you for yourself. And that choice, that rebirth has led you to you entering a period of your own divine power. Also, the Emperor is ruled by Mars. This is the Aries card. So something significant happened in April for you that is now coming into fruition. You're coming into your full, uninhibited, unleashed power. And a second interpretation is you have met your divine counterpart. One that didn't fool you or trick you into it. Because the Seven of Cups is also like having to navigate offers from paths that are full of trickery, scamming, mystery, you know, people who pretend to be mysterious, but really they're hiding. So the Queen of Swords is sideways and she's looking up towards the Phoenix. I wonder if that was the cutting out energy, the stuff that you cut out to get here is significant. So ask yourself, well, what did I cut out in April or in Aries season? Or even what decision did I make in Aries season? That was for me. That was based on what I truly want. what truly makes you happy. I think Seven of Cups is also like trying to wonder like who's on our side. And so we've got to choose like, well, let's at least put ourselves on our own team. The Eight of Swords. This decision that you made was difficult. You were actually avoiding making it for a very long time. The girl in the Eight of Swords is bound and gagged, and she knows, well, she's blindfolded and she's bound. She's not gagged. But she's like avoiding making a decision. And here it's like some energy came towards you that helped you untie yourself and make the decision you had to make. Okay, we have way too many cards coming out. This looks amazing. So let me know in the comments if April was groundbreaking for you in some way. If there was a celebration or a meeting or a trio energy. A sisterhood collective energy. Maybe you met this King of Wands. Or this King of Wands aided you in some way. Showed you an inspiring path. He's holding the salamander. Helped you go towards calmer shores. Helped you make a decision. Was a messenger on some level, or I don't know, helped you clarify. Helped you clarify what really fulfills you. He came in hot and fast. I don't mean that to be in a vulgar way. I mean it maybe was like an unexpected energy or some sort of just passionate, grand entry, and you were like, whoa, they caught your attention basically. Maybe you heard a lecture or were inspired by someone. Someone who like doesn't usually fit the mold. So here we have the Knight of Wands, actually a woman. And so people double take her and go, wow, that's impressive. You don't see that every day kind of thing. It's that kind of energy there. Something caught your eye and helped you make a decision about what you really want. 10 of Cups, the Empress. That's like you saying, being honest with yourself about your desire. Because when we are honest with ourselves about our desire, we have to cut off people or paths that we know will not get us there. So here we have, the Four of Pentacles, you being very conservative and saying, actually, I don't feel generous right now. Something needs to change, because the next moment there is the Angel of Death with her scythe. Then we have the Seven of Wands and the Strength card. So there was something that made you feel trapped, made you feel stuck, that you knew you had to unleash and change. It wasn't making you happy. We've had the Seven of Cups and the Seven of Wands. Sevens are the energy of who is really on my side, who is really giving me what I have asked for. It's like telling someone what you want for Christmas, but they buy you something that they think you should have, not what you actually asked for. And so you're like, are you listening? Are you really on my side? That's also the Seven of Wands. And you've had to like outmaneuver people. You've had to outmaneuver the people that you sensed were not really on your team or were not going to help you win the game. Like if these men are playing a hockey game, it was going badly. And then this figure here rises as the champion of the game, even though maybe it's not the position he usually plays, but he's like taking charge. Seven of Wands can also be taking charge of a group situation and saying, actually, I'm going to rise up and do this, and overcoming fear and using your inner strength to do something that is really based upon your deepest desire. Let's just choose 2 more cards because I don't want this to be too long. Queen of Wands. So here we have the royal couple again, Queen and King of Wands. So you might have strong fire placements in your chart. King of Swords there. Okay, so that's another divine. There's a lot of divine counterpart energy in this reading because we had the Empress and the Emperor, the King and Queen of Wands, and the King and Queen of Swords. And then here we have the Ace of Wands in the shadow. So I feel like Mars and Aries energy, whilst it could have been groundbreaking and earth-shattering and maybe bad, if you haven't recovered from it, you soon will. The Phoenix is telling me that this is your time to rise. You will be inspired. And if it all moved really quickly for you, as Aries and Mars usually does, you have met an energy that has inspired your own rebirth. Maybe into something quite new for you. So that's kind of exciting. If you have stayed this far, please offer a like as a gesture of your support, a comment if you would like. Otherwise, I will leave you as always with my love and courage until we meet again. Bye for now.